Start recording. Okay. All right. So welcome to Intro to Art / Ethnic Studies. Today is April 2nd. Oops, now this isn't, hold on, give me a second because now I'm struggling to go to the next slide. There we go. A few class rules: be respectful to others. Only use the annotation and chat features when asked. So if you see on your screen, you should be chat and ask questions. So make sure that you use that chat to ask any questions you may have. So at the bottom of your screen, it should say chat. If you click on that, and if you have a question, because I can't hear you, you can type it in there. Or if you have a question, just raise your hand like this, so that way Miss Ross can see you and let me know that you have a question. But at the end, I will give you guys time to speak, so that way I can hear you if you have any question. Make sure to do your best. That is all we ask for. And a few tips: if you have a notebook or paper, make sure to have that with you, and a pencil for notes. Especially during art class, you guys are going to be drawing. So this assignment's going to be due, and you're supposed to submit it, or at least show it to me. So if you're showing it to me, maybe what we can do is you can show it to me on screen at the end, and I'll give you credit for it. But you should be drawing while we're going through this presentation. So if you do not have a pencil or paper in front of you right now, go ahead and get one real quick, okay, while I keep reviewing this. If possible, find some quiet space. If you live anywhere that's small, I know it's hard to find quiet space. I live somewhere small, so it's hard to find quiet space, but just do the best you can. Make sure to ask questions. Again, at the end of class, I'll give you a chance to ask questions, but throughout the chat, I'll also ask you to do so. And then make sure to attend office hours. So on Wednesdays and Fridays, starting the week of April 14th, we will be having office hours. So if you have any questions, that's a good time to ask. All right, so just check. If you know how in the chat, go ahead and type how you're feeling right now. I know one of you I had earlier this morning, so I know that you felt at a 1. But I want to see if it's still the same or if it's changed, because I know earlier we were super sleepy, we were super tired. So it's possible that it's either gotten better or maybe your day's gotten worse. So in the chat box, make sure to put one number or you at. And I'll go ahead and answer that same question too. And for me, I put out a 0 because I'm feeling great. I'm in a good space. I feel like I can focus. So I'm at a 0. Remember, 10 is not the greatest feeling. 0 is the really good one. So just put whatever you feel like you're on. All right, let's go back to our slide. So what is filling your bucket? This one we're going to skip for right now just because we do have our lesson and we started a little bit late due to a few issues. Today, it says we'll find how to find do nows, lessons, and homework on Schoology. At the end of this, if you were not here the last session, I will help guide you through this, but for right now, I want us to do some artwork. We're going to draw an iceberg. So if you have a sheet of paper, grab that. Go ahead and put that in front of you. Now, in order to draw an iceberg, let me see where my marker, my lovely, lovely marker is. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and do this, a curve. It doesn't have to be just like that one. Okay. It can be a shape just like that, like something kind of squiggly. Doesn't have to look just like the one in the picture. Just something with some random curves. Go ahead and draw that on your paper. I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to do that. All right, your next step number 2. Again, we're gonna go a little bit quickly just because we are short on time. But just try to follow along the best you can. Now we're gonna add vertical lines. Remember, vertical lines are going up and down. So we're gonna add vertical lines at every curve going downward. So this right here is a curve. Wherever it goes like this, it goes whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a curve. So we're gonna do a curve. Now you can make them go kind of, you see how they're a little bit curvy going down? They're not super straight. Go ahead and do that to your drawing. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this because that's a curve. I have another curve here. Another curve here. Here. And here. Notice they don't go all the way to the bottom. They're all about the same size. You just kind of make them the same length. Let's go on to our next slide. Now you connect the verticals you just made with the curved base. So notice that they made them a little bit round. They don't make them straight. They make them a little bit round when they connect them. So let's go ahead and connect them. So this, you go straight, you round it a little bit. Curve it. This one, you're gonna make it go this way and then that way. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just try your absolute best. Step 3 now. We're gonna add higher up on the page. I did mine a little bit high, so either I'm gonna do mine a little bit lower here, or actually I might even have space to do them here. I'm gonna make another one. And one more here. Again, are they exactly like the ones in the picture? No. The point is you just make some curvy shapes. And they added a tiny one even here if you wanted to. I might do the same. You don't have to, just add, as long as you add about 2 of them. And the next steps, you do the same things you did with that big one on the other ones that you made, on the background ones. But notice the background icebergs are thinner. They're a little bit thinner, but you still connect them. So we go down on each curve. Let's make that one here. Down on each curve. And then you connect them. You connect, connect it, and connect it. Okay, so notice how it looks like the icebergs are deep. There's some depth. Depth means that they're thick, like a pizza, like a deep dish pizza. So some pizzas are thin crust, and then you have like the deep dish because they're thick. That's what they mean by we're trying to find depth. Okay? So if you look at this, these look like pieces of icebergs. It's not one thin little sheet. They're actually thick pieces of ice. Now they added a lot. I know that it seems like everything they did was a lot, but what they just kept doing is for this little one, for example, I've almost forgot to add my lines to that. They just added ripples. What that means is they added lines like this to make it seem like the water is moving. So around, you can put around the curves, you can put some, add a few of the ripples around the curves, like little lines that make it look like the water is moving. It shows motion. They added a whole other shape. If you want to keep adding shape, you can shade the dark at the top. You can make it a little bit darker just so it looks a little bit darker if you want to add some, but that's all extra little details that you can add to your drawing. Again, we're just drawing an iceberg and we're making it, notice how it actually, they don't look flat, they look like they're thick pieces of ice. That is the point. The point is to show an iceberg that is a thick piece of ice, okay? All right, so let me go through the next steps for class, but keep working on that drawing, and then I'll give you guys some time to speak, some time to ask questions at the end. So your next steps after this class, I want you to go back to Schoology, and in those folders, submit a picture of your assignment. Now, if you did do this drawing while class was going on, you can just show me in the video in a few minutes. But if not, just do it later on and submit it in that assignment on Schoology. Now, before class next time, complete the do now. There is a do now, so make sure you complete all the do nows. And then complete your homework assignment. There is a homework assignment listed on there, so I would like to see you guys complete that. Let's see what else. Spring break. So spring break starts tomorrow. We're gonna be on spring break from tomorrow all the way to well, we'll be back in class on April 14th. So make sure on April 14th you're logged into Schoology and you sign on to Zoom so I can see your wonderful faces and then we can have class that day. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop the recording.